Hello guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to engrave on a cup, okay, or a mug or something round shape using OMTech laser engraver and the accessory that comes with it, which is the rotary. The rotary I have, it is this guy here, okay. This is the rotary that came in with the machine, okay. Uh, Basically is a simple rotary with two different three basically, but two. You could put a smaller cup in here or you can put a bigger cup over here. This is the actual rotary cylinder that turns, and there's just a motor here with two belts that connect this guy to this guy, and another belt basically connecting from here to here to make this guy turn, and a belt is connecting from this guy to this guy. Very simple process. Okay, you will need to actually disconnect your y-axis. So your machine usually goes this direction and it goes this direction. To use a rotary system, you always will need to disable one of them. Okay, most machine they use disable the y-axis because this will be your y-axis turning, basically making the cup turn this direction up, front to back, and then side to side is actually your x-axis is going to be going fast in engraving. Okay, we will have to slow down this option, this here. We do not want this fast, but we will keep this guy fast. We will unplug this. In my machine, there's actually a cord over there. I'm gonna lower the bed. First step, we need to lower the bed. I will take the honeycomb out of there. We do not need it. My machine will be okay with the honeycomb, but I'm gonna take it out. If you have a bigger item, you might need to maybe take the honeycomb or take the actual there's a little sliding aluminum bars. You can take it and drop this all the way down if you have a bigger item that laser is not reaching to it. But my cup right now that I'm using is decent cup. I just need to take the honeycomb bed and just lower it down a little bit. Okay, I'll do this right now. And after this, we will go back to lightburn to show you some steps that need to be done first before changing anything. I do apologize in advance if there is a noise in the background. It's just the air pump is going to be on and it's going to be a little bit loud. I'm going to try my best to explain. I hope you can understand with the air pump in the background. Okay, let's go back to lightburn right now. So what we're gonna do, we want to make sure first. You can see my left hand side, the machine actually, my camera. What we want to do actually, we want to make sure we are connected to the right device. Okay, how we're gonna make sure that you can click on this guy here and just start moving stuff around. Okay, or you can click home. Maybe because here I have two different machines, for example, set up. So you want to make sure you choose the right one. So I'm still in the curse. You can click this here and click home. The machine will start home. Okay. So after that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this guy all the way to here, somewhere in the center. I can jog it manually, or I can actually just move it with this guy here. So after this, I'm gonna disable my camera over here to show you what we need to do and what setting. So now we're gonna have to disable the camera so you can see what's going on. You're gonna go to edit. This is must. You must do this, okay? Please do not change anything if you do not do this. I do not want you to ruin your machine. You can damage your machine very severely, okay? By changing the setting, then you're gonna go to hard time getting those setting back, okay? What I want you to do first, you're gonna go to edit, go to machine setting, okay, and it's gonna load your machine setting. That was the reason we want to make sure we're homing, so you can load the right setting of the machine, okay? We do not want to load different settings. And then you have to use two options, okay? Use both of them actually. Take pictures of all these settings here, okay? Click here to open the machine. It's gonna ask to just drop it down. It's gonna ask you like you're going in, you're enabling this option, blah blah blah. Column yes, and then you have more options here, okay? Take pictures, start from the top, start taking pictures of everything, okay? Just to save it. This is your original setting of the machine before we touch anything, okay? Plus, after this, click save here under save and choose a location where you want to save your setting. Mine is in desktop. I already named the original setting, okay? It was named setup, okay? First setup basically, sorry. Okay, you can call it original setup, you can call it default setup, whatever you want to call it, okay? Mine was first setup, okay? So you click on it and then you click save. It's gonna save your setting in the machine somewhere, okay? Then only after then we're gonna go in there and start adjusting stuff to make sure it works with the rotary, okay? So a couple of the stuff you need to change, okay? You're gonna need, okay, to change this guy here. I usually run mine at 20. I do not want it that fast. This is just the idle speed, okay? And then we're gonna change here the shift line, okay? How fast your machine is turning, shifting basically. We're gonna do this 20, okay? Then we're gonna enable rotary, basically that's what we're using right now. And we need to go down a little bit further, okay? Under, you're gonna see an in x-axis where it says enable homing, okay? We're gonna turn that off. We do not want the machine to start homing when we turn the machine on, okay? Then basically we're turning off the homing. On your y-axis we're gonna turn off the same thing, okay? Now unless if you have autofocus and stuff like that, okay? But even in autofocus, you do not, I believe you don't have to disable this guy. That's why we bought the machine in the center, but you can disable it and manually focus it or something like that if you want, or you can just do an auto focus. But you have to make sure your laser is in top the actual object, okay? So these are only changes we're gonna change, okay? We're gonna disable, again, we're gonna turn off homing for the y-axis. We're gonna turn off the homing for the x-axis, okay? And then we're gonna enable rotary. We're gonna change this guy from 150 to 20 and change the first one from, it was I think 3000 to, or 300 to 20, okay? Now we're gonna click write, okay? Now we're gonna write our information to the machine. By me clicking write, that means I'm changing all the setting into my machine. So that means if you did not save those settings and you forget something, you cannot go back to it. So remember, we save, take pictures before everything, okay? Now we're gonna click write, successfully write, click OK. To double check your machine setting is actually in right now, what we're gonna go to edit again, machine setting, and let's see if what we did it changed. It did in fact change, okay? Just closely knowingly here we click enable rotary, okay? Now what you need to do, you need to go back and save this screen here, but do not save it under the same thing, save it differently, okay? So save, we're gonna save it, name it something else. Mine, I named it OMTech rotary setting. Why? Because I do have Rotary machine, okay, and I do have different each machine will have different setting. So name it and then save it. Okay, so we're gonna click here and we're gonna click save. I click cancel because I already have them saved. Okay, then now you make sure it's saved. If in the future, we're gonna click OK, that's it, it's saved. In the future, if you want to go back after you finish, not in the future basically, after you finish using the rotary, you want to go back to your original machine setting. Okay, you're gonna disable the rotary and go choose your machine setting. What we need to do, you're gonna need to go here, edit again, machine setting. Remember, it's gonna load everything, and if you go load this time, okay, you're gonna load basically the original setting to your machine. So remember, mine I had it saved under first setup, so we're gonna click on it, then we're gonna click right. Okay, after like when you load it, so maybe you did not notice this, when you load it, your setting should load over here. So right now, me even clicking right, it did not load the original setting. The original setting this guy was 300. So we're gonna click on it again, and we're gonna go first setup, and then when it loads, see, it changes. It went to 300. This is turned off. So now I know I'm using the right setting. I am gonna write it right now, and the machine should take, if I close the click OK, if I go back here, and now it will be the 300. Okay, so now we're gonna go back again, load the rotary access stuff, remember, and it did not load it right. You can see it still says 300. We're gonna go again, try to load them. Sometimes you'll have hard time loading stuff, that's why it's very important to have it saved. I'm not sure why Lightburn doesn't want to do this sometimes, but let's see. Open it again and click rotary, click open, and it's not loading. Let's click read. It did right now. Okay, so right now it loaded it, it turned on this guy here, and it changed this guy. So we're gonna click right, okay, and then we're gonna click OK. Okay, double check again. I apologize, I like to double check stuff. I want you to double check your stuff. We have the right setting now. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna stop and we're gonna go back and hook up the actual rotary to our machine. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna come up to the back to the machine, okay, and we're gonna unplug this core over here. It's for the wide access, and we're gonna hook up the rotary. Make sure your machine is off, your laser is off when you're doing anything unplugging, touching wires at all time. Okay, that's very important. Okay, so I'm gonna try to give you a better access. First, I'm gonna turn on the machine. Okay, always do not have your laser on unless you're using it. Okay, but machine can stay on to make sure the water is cycling and all the stuff, but always make sure your machine is off when you're doing any changes. Okay, especially something like that, you're touching electrical and stuff. Okay, so not because you're gonna get electrocuted, that's one, but at the same time you do not want to burn any equipment, okay, or short something out. So I'm gonna pause the video, give you a better uncle of what better angle, not uncle. Okay, that's my perfect English. Better angle, okay, of what we're gonna do over here. Okay, I'm not calling my uncle. The angle actually right now is for the machine itself. Okay, so you can see I'm gonna take this wire here from the rotary, okay, and I'm gonna hook it up over here. Okay, so it depends on your machine or how's the plug looking. Mine is a circle with four knobs, and then there's a little like a four wire, sorry, and there's a little knob in here. Basically, is a pokyoki, is designed to be going in only in one direction. Okay, you cannot twist the wire around, so you won't have any shortage or anything like that. Okay, Your machine can have the wide axis at this corner or that corner or this corner, it depends. Always double check with your manufacturer. Okay, but my machine is the 50 watt, okay, OMTech. My axis, the Y axis is here. I don't have a different one. It's only one there. They usually just put one for you there to switch with. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in here just to show you what we're gonna do. So I hope you can see this. Okay, this is the actual Y axis. Okay, we're gonna unplug it by unscrewing. There's a screw in here. You're gonna unscrew it. Okay, and then you're gonna pull the plug. Okay, always we're gonna put the plug in here. Always remember, when you're pulling any plugs, try not to rip it from the wire. You do not want to damage the plug. Okay, so I always hold it from the steel area, or if it's the plastic, hold it from the plastic. Do not hold the wire, because you can see these here are very not even hooked up correctly. Not sure if you can see. Am I showing you? Oh, sorry. So what I'm trying to say here, I forgot I was zoomed in. What I was trying to say, do not hold the wire and pull it from this direction. Always hold the actual piece and pull it. We said we can go only one direction, so we're gonna try to find that direction. My machine, I know when I looked at it, it was this direction, that little tab in here. So I'm gonna just go ahead, try to plug it in, and it should slide easy. No fighting or anything. Do not force it in. Then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna tie this guy up. Okay, again, you do not want to tie it, fight with it. It's just the idea, just tie it snug. Okay, just so it will not pull back again. It's not gonna go nowhere anyway, but that's what you gotta do. Okay, make sure next your wiring, okay, is out of the way. They're not touching the fan or anything. And I will zoom out right now and show you what we're gonna do next. So this is how the machine look. Remember, this guy is in the center here as possible. Okay, and then we are hooked up to the actual machine. We will turn the machine on. After this, you can turn the machine on. You have to be careful when you turn the machine on. You do not want, keep an eye on it. You do not want that guy to go start homing. If that means if it start homing, something went wrong in your setting. It didn't save, remember? So we're gonna turn the machine on. The machine should not move. Okay. The Y and X axis, this guy should stay as it is. So you can hear the beep, but it did not go try to home. So that means your setting actually successfully went into the machine. Okay, so now this is good. We will stop here and we'll go back to the lightburn and talk about some more stuff on lightburn. Okay, so now we're gonna come to lightburn and we actually gonna show you some stuff inside lightburn. Okay, what we need to do first, we need to actually focus this guy, okay, to the actual object we want to engrave. So where I'm engraving, I'm going to be engraving one of these cups. Okay, let me give you an example of the actual cup. The cup is going to look like, as we talked at the beginning, something like this. Okay, so one of these cups. Okay, so what I did actually, before I did anything, I put a tape, masking tape in here on top of the cup, just so I will not ruin this cup. Okay, because you will need to do a lot of trial. Okay, and then what I did basically, I used the blue one, not the white one, because with CO2 lasers, the white one does not scribe as the blue one. Okay, so we're gonna put this guy here, but you can see I'm already touching my laser if I put it in. So we're gonna lower our bed. We're gonna go down much as we can, okay, and lower our bed. Okay, there's some testing we're gonna do after this. Okay, so now we put it in. Okay, what I want to find out after you do this, make sure you're in the center as possible, this direction here. Okay, not back, back and forth. Your center to the cup, and then use your block. What I actually did, I measured my block, and I actually made a wooden one with magnet in the back for my focus. I like this idea. So we're gonna put this guy here, and we're gonna just go up till we touch the laser head. Okay, and Make sure you're not too much. So this is perfect right now. Okay, I'm gonna pull it. Okay. So couple things we need to find out before you do any engraving. Okay, it is very, very important. Okay, you need to make sure your level. Okay, and you need to make sure your cup when you're engraving is not moving right to left. Okay, so here's what I mean. I'm gonna push this cup all the way down towards this end, touching this end. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna jog the machine, go up and down to turn the cup. Okay, just to see if it's gonna move this direction. Okay, here's the cup moving this direction, going this direction. And I can see my cup, it did move when it is going up. Okay, I will show you what I mean by pushing this corner. I'm gonna see if I can grab something, or just maybe my hand, and I'm gonna pull it. Just pay attention. It is gonna be pulled. Pay attention somewhere over here, maybe. Watch me pull it. Okay, so it was like this. I end up pulling it. Okay, that means it could be two things. My machine is crooked. This bed is crooked, or it's just the cup, the way the cup is. Okay, the cup wants to go this direction, this direction. Could be this guy is bigger than this guy, it wants to move that way. So to fix this issue, what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually put our cup all the way to this corner, because we know the cup wants to go this way. So if we put it all the way to this corner, now it's gonna be touching here, it's not gonna go nowhere. Why you wanna do this is it's very important. You wanna do this because if you don't do this, if you don't check this step, when you're engraving, your lettering is gonna go off, and then you're wondering, oh, the head is not working or something, but but that will not be the head or something, just your cup. Your cup is not straight 100%. It wants to go to one direction. Okay, very important step. Okay, so now we're gonna try it again. We're gonna go up, we're gonna go down. Okay, and in this case too, the cup wants to move. So both way, the cup wants to move. So now the cup, I go up. Maybe I did not put all the way. Yeah, I did not put all the way. Going up and down. I do have a small movement. Okay, so now we have a little problem. We're gonna have to play with this guy somewhere a little bit. So let's see. Oh, it was not sitting right. So maybe right now. Okay. Center. Let's go up now. And I'm staying. Going down. It is actually a little bit moving. You can see it. If I move it this way. Okay. So now we're gonna go to the other direction. Let's see. Wrong one. If I go up, not moving, nothing. Go down. It is moving. Go in that direction. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure. So remember, if my engraving start up, and if my engraving starts up, it start coming down. Basically, sorry, if it starts up, down and going up, the cup have to be at this direction here. Okay. If my engraving was from here and start going down, I would like to have it that direction, because I know the machine will go down. Okay. Okay. So this way, the guy will not move. Okay. So I have to start the engraving from up all the way coming down, so I can put it on this direction. Okay. Probably something wrong with the cup. It's just the way the cup is not grabbing, on this guy here, or just I'm going too fast. Okay. That's a couple more important tips. Okay. That's why I have to come out with something here. Maybe you put a stopper or something just to stop it here. But I will modify this in the future or something. Okay. So now we're gonna go, after we focus, we're gonna go back to lightburn. okay, and we're gonna do some stuff in lightburn. Okay, we're gonna open up lightburn, okay, and we're gonna go to actually tools, and we're gonna go to rotary setting. Okay, under rotary setting I have enabled rotary. Okay, so what we need to find out, a couple stuff. Basically is what type of rotary machine do we have. I have this one. Here's the roller one. Okay, there's a different style, is a chuck. Okay, but at this time I don't have a chuck. Okay, maybe in the future, but I have the rotary here. So there's different setup between both of them. So what we need to do, we need to measure these guys here. Okay, we need to measure how thick is this guy here. Okay, so what we're gonna grab a caliper, and every time you measure something, write it down somewhere, or you can just type it in the computer right away. Okay, so we're gonna grab a caliper and we're gonna measure these. Okay, (2444). That's what I'm getting. Okay, so I'm gonna measure this 2444. We said. Okay, so what's 2444? Is this guy here. It says rotary. Okay, roller diameter. I'm sorry, roller diameter. Okay, so this guy was 2444. I'm kind of using a Harbor Freight caliper. I'm going to use a different caliper here. See if I get the same setting. It was a little bit different. And this, I know that one's a little bit off. So this we're gonna have 2470 something. Say if I squeeze it, 2456. Okay, so we're gonna write down here 24.56. Okay, now what's your object diameter is gonna be? Okay, so now we're gonna take the object diameter, we're gonna take our object and we're gonna measure it. Okay, so we'll measure the sides here. We're gonna be like 7106. If I measure here, I have 7096. Not that much. So we can go 7097 or something like that. That's what I have in here. Okay, if you can see, I have 70.97. Okay, after you put this number, it's gonna give you the circumference. Okay, this is your circumference. What's the circumference? Circumference is basically if I cut this piece off, okay, and flatten this guy, just cut it from one side and flatten it, it's gonna be a piece of steel sheet. That's their circumference, measuring from here to here. Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna copy the circumference here. We're gonna copy the circumference. Okay, we're gonna click OK after you load the setting. Okay, and we're gonna open a box. We're gonna click here. We're gonna go any box and just make a square, or just a box. Okay, so under the height, which is, we're gonna call this the height. Okay, this direction, the Y direction. So we're gonna put that circumference. It was, remember, 222 millimeters something. We're gonna click OK, and you're gonna see this box got bigger. Okay, we're gonna drag the box, we're gonna grab it down. Now this is, if we flatten this guy, this direction is from here to here. Okay, now if we actually want to see this size from here to here, we're gonna measure it with a caliper. We're gonna take our caliper. So this is a smaller caliper, so the maximum this caliper can go 15 something. So we're gonna use our Harbor Freight caliper. Okay, the bigger one. And Racing is having a hard time moving. I have a magnet in the back. These magnets are killing me. They're earth magnets. They're all over the place. So let's say this is how big is this guy. From tape to tape, let's say it is, say 17. We can make a 170. We can make it 170. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we can make it 170. So we're gonna click here. Now we're gonna unlock this box over here. Okay, if you unlock this guy, you can change the shapes up and down, you know, in only one direction. For example, if I were to keep it lock, and if I change this guy, the bottom and the top number will change here. Okay, but by clicking unlocking it, I can only change one of them. So we said 170. Okay, and then here that's 170. From here is 170. From here to here is 222. Now what does that mean? Now that means my shape that I want to engrave here have to stay in this box. We're gonna come to this box and we're gonna click on T1. Okay, it's like an orange icon and lightburn. What is this is for? This is basically for just a frame. It will not engrave, nothing will happen. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna come back over here and we're gonna select the block box, the block, you know, 00. Sorry, first we're gonna frame this guy, make it a frame only, click outside, and then we're gonna click the block one, and then we're gonna go to box, and let's make from here all the way down to here. Okay, we'll make just a small, you know, small box, but lengthwise is longer. What I'm trying to do right now, I want to see, to find out from here to here how much do we need. For example, if you go to your rotary setting, there's an option here. It says, okay, step per rotation. You want to calculate how much step you need to have this guy to turn all the way around for one exact complete turn. How are we gonna find out? Mine, I had a hard time finding it, but here's how you do it. Example, your machine setting should be at once, let's say 1,000. So if I do, maybe 1,000 is too much, 10,000 is too much, we'll do 8,000 and 9,000. So some machines comes in automatically set these number. So we'll do 9,000. Okay, and what I'm gonna do next, very important, you need, because you're engraving on the cup, what we need to do, we're gonna go here, start from, and we're gonna change this to current position. Okay, so what does that mean? Current position is wherever your laser is, that is where it's gonna start. Okay, so there's a green dot on the screen over here. Okay, this is where it's telling you right now is your current laser position. So if I were to click frame, this laser will move around, come this direction. Look at my hand in the cursor. It will come this direction, and then we'll start doing the engraving. I can change it from here. I can click center. So now my laser is in the center of my object, and it will start down. So now if I click play, because my shape is somewhere down, my laser will go down here and start engraving this direction over here. Okay, so you can move your object next to your sensor, next to your point, just by clicking on it and just move it next to it, whatever you want, make it in the center. Okay, so mine, I will keep it like a little bit, let's put it in the center. Okay, but then I can move actually my laser head. So I can just make it like somewhere over here. So now this is my starting point. It's gonna go this direction and come back. Okay, let's do a burn and see. Before you do a burn, I'm sorry guys, let's do one more thing. Make sure you zoom in. You're all the way to the edge, this edge here, and you're all the way to this edge here. Okay, zoom out. Make sure you use low power when you're engraving on this guy. So we're gonna use my machine, the lowest power I can go before it turn off, or it doesn't even work, is 10. So I'm gonna do 10. Okay, and then I'm gonna put here 10. Okay, click OK, and then I'm gonna actually run this guy and see where my line is gonna meet. Okay, So it works, but the laser was not on, so the machine did not even burn. So make sure you turn your laser on. Okay, so we'll go again and do the same thing. We click play. So if I grab this guy right now and show you something, so what we're gonna look at, the machine started, if you can see it, the machine started somewhere here, it went around all the way, and it laps, and then stops here. So that means this guy here, it was too long. Our rotation per minute was too long. Okay, so we're gonna put the cup back in. Okay, and we're gonna go to lightburn. First, we're gonna change our position of the laser. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this just here so it can be our start point. We're just gonna move it just here. Okay, so it's gonna engrave next to it. We're gonna go back to edit, tools, rotary setup, and let's make this smaller just to give you an example. Okay, we'll make this 7500. Click OK. We'll do that burn again. Okay, and let's see. Now let's see what we end up with. Now we're shorter. So if you look, this was before. Okay, we were somewhere over here, and we end up overlapping, stop over here. Now, right now we made it shorter because I went too much. So now I'm here, went all the way around, and did not complete my cycle. The idea is I want to come back and touch all the way here. Why I want to do this? Because if you don't do this, if you're doing a circle, okay, like example, a circle, it's not going to be a circle, it's going to be an oblong. Then you wonder why my shades, okay, they're not right. So you want to make sure you get this guy 100% right. Okay, you're going to put it back in again. Okay, all you have to do is just try out a couple times. That's why I use a tape, so you will not ruin your object. Or a double tape, worst to worst, okay? So that way nothing will happen. I'm just gonna move it manually. I can shut. The good thing with this machine, I can turn off and just move it manually. Let's see. Why can't I do it now? Oh, I cannot do this way. Okay, never mind. It's very close enough. Okay. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go ahead and use my setting that I was messing with. So you can go, this is just a little tricky part here. You have to know your exact setting. Sorry, I went to the wrong spot. You go to rotary setting, okay, and then you're gonna change this. Okay, we're gonna change this guy. Do it 82. I think I had 8280 or something. It was okay. 81, 8281, something like that. We'll try it. Okay, click OK. We're gonna try engraving again. Now we'll look at it, and you can see it is almost dead on. Okay, so I started here, okay, and then I went around and ended over here. Let's see if you can see it better. Started here, went all the way around, came back, and end over here. Okay, this guy here, it started somewhere here. It went around and it came back over here. That was at the 7,000. Okay, and when it was 8,000, it started somewhere here. It went around all the way and came back over here again. Okay, so you just gotta get it perfect to get this guy. Okay, so now because we did this, so what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go ahead and load. I'm going to show you how to load the actual stuff to your lightburn. Okay, what do you want to engrave, for example? So I'm going to pause the video here, and then we're going to go to lightburn. Before I do that, actually, I'm going to change the cup, and I'm going to actually choose a cup that I want to actually engrave on. Okay, here's the cup. I'm gonna give you a little tip if you're engraving on cups and stuff like that too. The pencil, you cannot find it. So because my cup, it have this loop here. So what I like to do, I like to mark where the loop is. Okay, in here and in here. Okay, with a pencil. Okay, why? When I open this guy up, so now I'm gonna just think about. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna mark somewhere here and here. So I'm gonna try my best not to put my engraving anywhere here. So just that loop, it will not be in the way. I just like to do this. Okay. So now we're gonna start. We'll start our engraving somewhere in here. Okay. And we're gonna do a testing with this cup here. See if that makes a difference. We're gonna. I'm gonna just align this guy a little bit more, maybe put it somewhere over here. Okay, bring this guy here. Okay, make sure it's lined up 100%. I'm gonna go up and down. Cup is not moving, and the cup is not moving. So it's just that cup. So both, both direction. If I go, I know the cup is going this direction. So that's kind of good. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna actually put the engraving somewhere. I'm gonna start the engraving somewhere from here. I am lining up this direction back and forth. Maybe I can go here. I touched it from here. Do not touch it from this area. Okay, maybe that'd be good. So that's my starting point. Is gonna be from my cup. Okay, somewhere in the middle. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna load our actual design. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video and then we're gonna load the actual design. So this is our test, or our setting was over here. Remember, we went to tools and we put every setting in here. Right now everything is good. We clicked OK. Okay, now we're gonna delete this box here. What we're gonna do, we're gonna divide this section here in 4. So just grab a square, okay, and just let's say start from the bottom. Okay, then click here, and then this just to multiply the boxes. So if I want to do 4 of them, you can see right now they are over this line. It's just the estimated tool. So I can just cancel, make this guy just a hair smaller, or I can go here. I click on this guy here, and this was 222. So if I take 222 and I'll do divided by 4. So calculator. So if I do 222 divided by 4, that should give me 55.5. So if I make this box here, the length of the box, okay, 55.5, okay, and this was 170, and then I'd make sure, click on both of them and go here, make sure it's all the way to the bottom. The box is gonna go all the way to this end here, then matching the ends. I click here, I make sure everything is 0. I make 4 boxes. So now, sorry, so what happened, I selected both of them. Only select the black one, okay, and you're gonna click make it 4. 1 2 3 4. Basically now they're almost perfect. And then we're gonna select everything and make it, remember, just the frame. What is this? What I'm trying to do here, okay, basically this is gonna be my cup. I'm dividing my cup to 4 sections. So example, if I want to do a shape, over here, and if I want the other shape to be on the other side of the cup, I'm gonna draw a shape over here in the center. So if I put a shape here and a shape here, so this guy I'll have an empty spot next to it. This guy I'll have an empty spot, and then this guy will come over here. So this guy to this guy, the shape will be in the center. Okay, but of course you have to make sure it's centered. So basically you're gonna grab this guy and you're gonna grab one of these guys and then go to, let's say, center it to make sure it's centered. Do the same thing here. Click here, click on the small box, so click in a small box, then click on this guy, and then we're gonna click on a small box, and then we're gonna control click on this guy, and then we're gonna make sure it's center, so it's center. So now I know these guys are center. Now they're not centered to this direction, so we can click here, and then we click here, and now we can go here and make them center, so they're both in the same. Maybe they're different shapes, but again, at least they're both center. Or we can make them all at one height. If you go here, you can just select, they all start from here. Okay, remember, this is our starting point. Okay, so our laser will go further, and then we'll start engraving. So let me load the design, and I'll show you where I'm. So now we're just gonna move the camera basically over here. I added the camera to show you the cup, and then we're gonna go ahead and set our setting. So for this burn, I loaded the image. Remember, I said I'd load this image here. So this image here, when it's gonna burn right now, because it's out of this box here, is gonna basically, what it's telling me is gonna be somewhere over here too. Then I got the name, so I'm gonna try to click this guy here and click this guy. Not just make sure center as possible. Okay, I don't have the box. Actually, I can do just go here and make one box. So I can do this. I can click on the box and click on this guy and center it together. There's center as possible. Okay, and maybe the box moved. Okay, we'll just go back. Okay, and then we're gonna click on this here. You can see it already center, so we're not gonna mess it. We can center these together here like this. I can do this. They're center. Now if you remember, okay, where I said before, it was this guy over here. Okay, this is where my laser is starting. If you look right now, this where laser is on my laser. Okay, I'm gonna jog it. This is where, if I wanted to start from here, going all the way up to somewhere here. So we need to try it. See, right now what we're gonna do, we're gonna click frame. I'm gonna turn this guy off. Okay, I'm gonna just color it something else right now and just turn it off. Okay, just so I can show you where this location is gonna be at. Okay, we're gonna frame it. So this arrow here, where is it telling me basically I have an issue, probably my machine, because when I was going up and down on my rollers, probably one of my rollers is all the way down. So I'm gonna go up as much as I can. So then I'm gonna go down a little bit more. Okay, so now I know in the middle. I go open this guy up, make sure I'm touching. Okay, and let's see it. Let's frame right now, so it's gonna give it the same arrow. Okay, yes. Okay, so my engraving right now is gonna be somewhere over here. So the shape is gonna be somewhere in the top. I'm gonna enable this guy again. Click this guy here, make it black, so I can have the same setting of burning, and then everything is off. Okay, and I can turn this guy off too. Let's zoom in to see if there's anything anywhere or anything crazy. No, zoom out. I'll do a select to see if there's anything different than those two. No, nothing. Okay, so now I'm gonna click play and I'm gonna do the engraving. Okay, so 100 here, my speed is 150, my speed and my power is 75 by 75. So we click OK, and then we're gonna double check everything last. So now it's done. We're gonna take the cup, and this is the actual design that we put in there. Okay, that's the name, and that's the cup. What I like to do usually just clean this dust with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and give me a second and I'll show you how we do it. Just a piece of towel, rubbing alcohol, and wipe just where actually the engraving was. Okay, you're gonna see that it's dirt, basically from a burn, and where the name is. I usually just go over the whole thing, and of course I'm gonna wash this, and clean it very good, just in case it will not have any smoke and dust and stuff like that. So at the end, this is the actual engraving of a cup. Okay, I hope you like this. Please leave a comment. I hope you understand every step I did. I will try my best to help you if you have any question. Thank you very much.